This is Hall County Sports, brought to you by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. Remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair, 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood with 3 worship services, Kids Town, and adult small groups. McKelvey Road United Methodist Church, dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Garry Glenn. We're going to hit the ground running with this show. We start off with track and field. Hall County mining some gold at the boys all-class state track meet in Jefferson. Continuing in the area where Hall County athletes traditionally have been strong, pole vault and distance running. On the track, state cross-country champ Cody Barger added to his portfolio with a win in the 1600. After trailing most of the race, Cody outkicked Zach Sims of Eagles Landing down the stretch to win the 1600 in a new school and personal record time of 4:15.75, but later didn't feel all that great about the race he ran.
I just kept him within range, first 8. I tried to move on him lap 3. That's when everyone makes the move though, so he made his too. And honestly, I'm sitting there 200 to go thinking, all right, I'll take a second. But it got 50 out, and you know, I hate losing. And I just knew that I couldn't let him too far. It reminded me of region last year. I was hurt, and I let one of the guys in this race, the Pickens boy, I let him way out in front of me thinking I would catch him down at the end. Because I mean, it's the same thing I did sophomore year. I hate it. It makes me feel dirty. Pass him at the end like that.
Anyway, Cody was joined on the victory stand in the AAA 1600 by teammate Brandon Lawson, who finished 7th. Now in the 4A 1600, Flowery Branch's Maurice Ryden started strong, but he couldn't hold the pace and wound up 10th. Barger then completed the triple crown of distance running when he won the 3,200 meters the next night in 9:07.12. By the way, only 0.12 of a second off of the AAA record. He's now won the cross-country state, the 1600, and the 3,200. The hat trick, the triple crown, if you will. It was also good enough for Barger to take home the best performance trophy in the 3,200 and continue the string of North Hall distance running gold at Georgia Olympic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a fun ride. Getting cross country and then the mile and then of course the 32. But it was a little bit disappointing not getting that record in the 32 by, 0.1.
Also in the 3,200 in AAA, West Hall's Josh Pendley ran 10th. While in 4A, the Flowery Branch boys, Kenny Slavic and Drew Garland, ran 10th and 12th, respectively. By the way, Brandon Lawson, also got aboard the victory stand on Saturday a second time. He had a 7th-place finish in the AAA 800 meters. Between him and Barger, that got that top 10 finish for the Trojans that Coach Joe Bradshaw talked about last week. They wound up 7th overall with 24 points. Also, like Coach Joe said, favored Carrollton lived up to their billing, running away with the AAA title with 84 points. Now, battling through an early season broken hand, Flowery Branch's Austin Eckenroth took home the gold in the Quad A pole vault in Jefferson last week, finishing with a jump of 15.1 before missing 3 shots at 15.7. Afterwards, I had a chance to speak with him and his coach, Jimmy Sorrels.
Feels pretty good. Last year I was a state runner-up, so I came in 13 feet. I cleared every jump first attempt until 14.6. I missed my first attempt. Then I cleared it second attempt, 15.1 first attempt. Then I went for the state record for 4A at 15.7, and I didn't make it though.
Feels phenomenal. I'm very proud of Austin. Just best, just how he's progressed this year, and just the best feeling ever to see a kid win a state championship. That's just phenomenal. It's almost irreplaceable. I think he's going to be even more hungry next year to try to prove himself even more. I don't think he's going to be content just with what he done this year.
Also in the pole vault, Chesterton's Tyler Armour dug down deep and finished on the medals podium with a 4th-place finish in the AAA vault. Tyler finishing with a leap of 13 feet even. That equaled his personal record, and he did it after being sick with bronchitis last week. He was region champ this year, by the way, as well. Other than Eckenroth, the highest finish in the field events for Hall County athletes was Tarvin Dukes, 2nd in the single A discus. Tarvin led after the prelims with a toss of 150 feet 2 inches, but Schley County's Jeremy Blue outdid his own previous efforts and uncorked a state record 167.9 on his last throw. For Dukes, out of Riverside Military, now headed to the Citadel to play football, it was a bittersweet way to end his high school career.
I feel like I did pretty well. Getting beat by a state champion, that's throwing 167, I don't mind. Yeah. He did his best, I did my best. I came a little short, but it's fine.
Now, his school record in the discus, which he set at region this year, is 155 feet. He could wind up at running back or middle linebacker at the Citadel. Another top 10 for Hall County athletes was Gainesville's Trey McKeithen, who was 8th in the AAA triple jump. Also in AAA, West Hall's Jason McCurdy celebrated his 17th birthday by running 7th in the 400 meters. In Single A, Stephen Pluhar of Riverside got on the championship podium with an 8th place finish in the Single A 400 meters. So it was up to East Hall's Kerry Mata to make sure the gold medal run for Hall County schools continued on this past Saturday. Kerry sprinted and jumped his way to the AA 300-meter intermediate hurdle championship, covering the distance in 39.08.
I don't know, I just feel I had a strong start. That's all I was working on in practice. The finish was just my thing.
Now, one of the highlights of this year's meet came when Holy Innocents' O'Neal Wanless ran the fastest 800 meters in the 40-year history of Georgia Olympics, a 1:49.618. He also won the 400 meters and took home the prestigious Morris Bryant Trophy. The other team champs besides Carrollton in AAA were Peachtree Ridge in 5A, Clark Central in 4A, Elbert County in AA, and Athens Christian in Single A. We got girls track coming up for you next.
Hurry in before we sell it all to G's Home Furnishing's $2 million cash-raising furniture blowout. Save like never before on living rooms, leather, dining rooms, bedrooms, bedding, accessories, and much, much more. Guaranteed lowest sale prices. If you can find it for less anywhere else, we'll match it or beat it. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everyone you know to come in and take home fine furniture at savings of a lifetime. G's Home Furnishing's $2 million cash-raising furniture blowout. 11 Grove Street, Dahlonega. Going, gone.
Register now for the Ford 2011 Student Conference.
June 23rd to 25th.
Hosted by Jensen Frank.
Cause it starts tonight. We wanna rise. We wanna touch the other side. Cause it starts tonight. Be impacted by powerful speakers like Judah Smith, Reggie Dabbs, and Christine Kane.
Special music by Toby Mack, Planet Shakers, Matt Redman, and Flame.
Join us for Forward's first live album recording, produced by Grammy Award winner Israel Houghton.
Let's move forward and move toward God's purpose in our lives.
Last year, the conference sold out at over 10,000 youth from all over the nation. Register now to attend this life-changing event. ForwardConference.org.
Proper maintenance is vital to the life of your car. Let the experts at Mountain View Auto Repair take care of all your vehicle needs. Owner Danny Hammock has over 50 years of experience in the automotive business and has earned a reputation of being honest and fair with his customers.
We try to treat everybody like I want to be treated. You know, that works out pretty good, and try to keep the price as low as possible to keep people coming in and give them a good price for their money. We do whatever turns up on a car, any kind of work, any kind of car, just it don't really matter. We do it all. People say, when you going to quit and retire? I say, probably never. You know, as long as the Lord let me work, I'll probably be here working.
I've been trading with Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair for about 20 years. I've always been very happy with his work. It's very easy for me to talk with him. He doesn't talk down to me. He explains it in a manner that I can understand.
Most of my customers are like friends here. You know, I've known them so long, and I count them as, most all of them as friends to me.
Remember, when you want honest, reliable service, put Mountain View Auto Repair under your hood.
We're back. I'm Garry Glenn. Hall County Sports is the show. At the 8 AAA Girls Region Track Meet, West Hall sort of sprinted to the Girls Track and Field Championship, coming from 3rd place after day 1. Lanisha Kierce ran first in the 100 and 300 meter hurdles, while Maia Booker zipped to first place finishes in the 100 and 200 meter dashes. West Hall's 4x100 relay team of Booker, Kierce, Simone McGee, and Victoria Tuttle will also make the trip to Albany this week for the Girls State Track and Field Championships, May 12th through 14th. They finished second in that particular relay. With her second in the high jump, Haley Haynes claimed a spot for West Hall at the state championship. and Ryan Sherry ran second in the 800 to also make the trip down to Albany. Now, Gainesville wound up third in the region. Sarah Hayes won the 800, ran second in the 1600. Gainesville's Taylor Sims won the shot put. Chestatee was fourth in the meet, led by Vanessa Chavez's strong showing. First in the discus, third in the shot. She'll go in the discus. Caitlin Lewis also finished second in the pole vault, and Chestatee's Jenny Arthur was second in the 300 hurdles. North Hall ran fifth at region, won gold, won Gabrielle Hoffman, won the pole vault by clearing 9 feet even. Lady Trojans' Alicia Lee also earned a spot in Albany by finishing second in the 400, and North Hall's Victoria Rogers took second place in the 3200. Bring to the show now the Lady Spartans head track and field coach Cindy Herford. And Cindy, congratulations on the region championship. First of all, first ever, we understand?
I believe so.
First ever track and field championship for the Lady Spartans of West Hall. That's something to celebrate. Has been a fun year for you, hasn't it?
It has. It's been very fun.
What's been pleasing to you the most about the way they've competed this year?
Well, I would say the consistency. The girls have, it's not been up and down like sometimes you have in some years. Everyone's pretty much finished, where they were supposed to at each meet, and we've not had any injuries, which is a big deal. Usually you have to contend with some injuries.
That's huge. People don't realize, people say, well, we didn't win the game, our point guard was sick, or our leading home run hitter was not. That's no. Well, sure, it's an excuse. When you don't have people that are well, that's a big excuse. But you've been injury-free pretty much this year.
I think so. It's the first year I can ever remember not having any major injuries.
So now you take a pretty strong contingent down to Albany, not just 1 or 2 girls, but really a pretty good part of your team.
Right. We're taking 7 girls to state.
How big is that?
That's amazing. Last year I took 1, so that's a big deal.
And when when you take a group like this, do they sort of feed off of one another?
Oh, sure, because when you can imagine, I had just 1 girl there last year, so there was not a large cheering section or anybody to pep her up beforehand. Whereas this year we should have a little more cheering, and that always makes you run faster.
Looks like you got some speed here. I'm looking at the dashes for the hurdles and the dashes for the dashes. How good are these girls? What shot have they got in Albany?
They're both of them are in the top 3 in each event. So we'll see. It just depends on how they perform, but hopefully they'll get a top 3 finish.
Looks like there was a pretty strong region meet too, Cindy.
It was. We hadn't seen like Oconee or Walnut Grove or any of those. We just hadn't been to a track meet with them, so we didn't really know what to expect other than looking at their times online. So we were pleasantly surprised when we got there. It was good competition.
Looking forward to it then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, check back with us and let us know how you do down there.
All right, thank you.
And also, good luck to your boys. I understand that your sons are competing in bodybuilding this weekend at Gwinnett, right?
They are. Thank you.
Well, good. I know them both. And their dad going to go with them. You're going to go to Albany, right?
That is true.
All right. Listen, good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, all of that, of course, in AAA. Now, in 4A, Flowery Branch was third at their region. For the Branch girls, Regina Jarrett led the Lady Falcons in the field events, winning the long jump, finishing second in the triple jump. She's now qualified for both for girls state. The defending state champion, well, actually, it was last year in the AAA division. Now she's in Quad A, but she won the AAA in the 400 last year for the Branch. Erika Rucker, she qualified in that event again, the 400 meters and the 800 meters, after she took region titles in both.
Really want to go out there and try to win both events, the 4 and the 8, and I know it's going to be really tough, but I really just want to do my best. I want to PR in both also, because it's my last high school race ever, and then I'm going off to South Carolina, so I just want to really do my best.
Good luck to all of our local girls in Albany at their state meet this weekend. We've got people playing on in baseball in the playoffs. That story when Hall County Sports continues.
Open hearts, open minds, open doors. Let's consider that church is a menu of adventure. Let's consider that open is a verb instead of a noun, a word of action. What if church was less about Sunday and more about the other days of the week? Opening hearts, opening minds, opening doors. What if church wasn't just a place we go, but something we do?
I want to be part of a church where everybody feels that they have a role to play and a place to be and are welcomed. That there's something for everyone.
What if church wasn't just a building, but doors opening up a different experience that whoever knocks might find a journey to call their own?
We have people that come in t-shirts and blue jeans and flip-flops, and we do have our older generation that comes in ties and suits, and we want everybody to feel comfortable.
You know God is there because of the people that are there. And you want to enjoy that same feeling of fullness and freedom.
Let's rethink church. Then Sunday could be a day of reflection on all that we had accomplished Monday through Saturday. Then together, we can open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
My name is Lloyd Smith.
I'm Renee Barnett.
My name's Alan Cudd.
My name's Don Cooper.
My name is Mike Stewart, and I attend McKever Road United Methodist Church, the church on the hill here in Oakwood, Georgia. We'd love for you to come join us.
This message has been brought to you by the people of the McKever Road United Methodist Church. Gary Cole, pastor.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
We are back talking baseball, this particular segment, beginning with the AAA state playoffs. North Hall and Gainesville both having to go to Game 3s in their respective series with LaGrange and Troop. On the road, the Trojans jumped on the Grangers 10-0 in Game 1 with a masterful pitching performance from Chris Stevens, who went the distance for his 9th win versus a single defeat this season. North Hall actually got on top early with back-to-back solo homers from Whit Bowen and Jesse Strickland in the very first inning. Strickland also had another RBI with a sac fly and taking a bases-loaded walk. Andrew Smith had a couple of hits, won an RBI single, and reached base all 4 times. But Game 2 belonged to the Grangers' Jacob Bocucci as he went the distance for his 6th win against only 1 loss. The home team won it 9-2 to force Game 3. Mason Savage had tied the game 1-1 on an RBI single, and Bowen had brought the Trojans within 5-2 with an RBI double. That was about it. Now, the next day, the Trojans got down to their last strike, but Bowen tied the game at 3-all with an RBI single in the top of the 7th. Apparently that was the push North Hall needed. Bowen scored a run and drove in 2 others in the first 7 innings to keep the Trojans alive. And in the 9th, Bowen added his 3rd RBI. Griffin Olson followed with an RBI hit. And Eli Gilmore picked up an RBI with a bases-loaded walk. And then Smith put the game away with his 2nd grand slam of the season to cap that big inning. North Hall, after almost going home, goes on to win it 10-3 and advance to the round of 16 with a 2-1 series win. Stevens picked up win number 10 when he pitched the final 3 innings this past Saturday to earn his 2nd win of the series. He caused a double play and then struck out the final Granger batter of the game to wrap up the win. And next up for the Trojans, another road game at Cartersville. We welcome to the show now Coach Trent Mongero, head coach of the North Hall Trojan baseball team. And Trent, I got to tell you, you give the fans their money's worth, huh? You make it exciting.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with it. The players did it all themselves, but it was a very exciting game and a great finish.
You have had a marvelous season with the Trojans this year. I mean, you wind up tied for the region championship, basically, and then finish where you do because of the tie-breaking situation and so forth. But you've set all kinds of school records, and the kids just play hard.
It's a tribute to the senior leadership, really. Tremendous seniors, and they've led the way on and off the field. And many of them I've had for 5 years since they were in 8th grade. And it's just been a lot of fun to watch it all come together this year.
Well, let's go back to this series that you just got through with down at LaGrange. First of all, Game 1, everything seemed to go well for you, offense, defense, the whole bit.
Yeah, we were very focused. Energy was at its highest peak, and we got off to that good start with back-to-back home runs in the first inning, and it just seemed to continue on rolling from there. But second game was a little bit different.
Well, pitching has a lot to do with that, and the guy was on his game that night.
Yeah, absolutely. Their guy was a trooper. I think he threw 150-plus pitches, 160 pitches.
Wow.
But, you know, he kept us at bay, and we seemed to run out of steam as the night went on. It was a long day for us, not to make excuses. Got to tip your hat to them, but we were looking forward to Game 3 after that one.
And so you come out in Game 3, and you get down, as I said, basically to your last strike.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Coach?
Honestly, I was calm the whole way, calm confidence. The guys, I told them after the game that Game 3 was a microcosm of our whole season. You know, early on in the year, we were behind, had to make a lot of comeback wins, and we developed a lot of confidence through the year, and that's exactly the way that game went. We fell behind early and had to come back late and win it, and then we put a big hurting on them there in the 9th inning. So
there you go. So now, what's pleased you the most besides all the records and all the accomplishments about the team, the intangible kind of stuff?
Yeah, you know, just the guys have had so much fun. They're playing the game like they're little kids that come to practice energized. You know, probably one of the things I'm most proud of is every kid in our program has come through North Hall Middle School. We haven't gotten any players from anywhere, move-ins or anything, and they've just gelled and come together for a beautiful product and a lot of fun memories.
Well, next up, another road game for you at Cartersville. Will you come back next week and tell us about that series?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Kerry.
Now, Gainesville playing at home got a knockout punch from Troops Cody Sheffield, who hit a monster grand slam, and the Tigers went on to win 5-0 in Game 1. Hunter Anglin did stop the Red from seeping out of the Elephants in Game 2 when he struck out 9 and going the distance in a 7-1 win. He did give up a solo home over Russ Moorman for one of Troops' 3 hits, but otherwise held the Tigers in check. He also himself had 2 hits while retiring the first 8 batters he faced, including striking out the side in the first. Jimmy Kemp went 3 for 4 with an RBI single. Skylar Weber also drove in a run, while Will Maddox drove in 2 with a single. Gainesville then got offensive in Game 3. David Gonzalez hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd, while Michael Geddes smacked a 6th-inning grand slam. Sims Griffith had a double in the 3rd and single and scored in the 4th. Ryan Griffith had set up Gonzalez with his 2nd and 3rd RBI. Stephen Mason started, and Geddes came on the hill in the 5th. Skylar Weber 3 for 4 with an RBI. And now the 9th-ranked Elephants face number 8 Woodward in a series we'll also have to tell you about next week. The season ended for the Flowery Branch team in 4A when Dunwoody swept them in a couple of close games, 8-7 and 3-0 in the first round of the Quad A playoffs. First game saw the Falcons take some late leads before Dunwoody rallied, eventually winning with a walk-off homer in the 9th. For the Branch, Brody Thomas was 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored. Jesse Brookshire 5 for 5 with 2 RBI. Chase Halsey 2 for 4 with a couple driven in. For the Falcons, who will finish their season at 17-7 on the year. We'll go to the squared circle when we return.
Hurry in before we sell it all to G's Home Furnishing's $2 million cash-raising furniture blowout. Save like never before on living rooms, leather, dining rooms, bedrooms, bedding, accessories, and much, much more. Guaranteed lowest sale prices. If you can find it for less anywhere else, we'll match it or beat it. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everyone you know to come in and take home fine furniture at savings of a lifetime. G's Home Furnishing's $2 million cash-raising furniture blowout. 11 Grove Street, Dahlonega. Going, gone.
Register now for the Ford 2011 Student Conference.
June 23rd to 25th.
Hosted by Jensen Frank.
Cause it starts tonight. We wanna rise. We wanna touch the other side. Cause it starts tonight. Be impacted by powerful speakers like Judah Smith, Reggie Dabbs, and Christine Kane.
Special music by Toby Mack, Planet Shakers, Matt Redmond, and Flame.
And join us for Ford's first live album recording, produced by Grammy Award winner Israel Houghton.
Let's move forward and move toward God's purpose in our lives.
Last year, the conference sold out at over 10,000 youth from all over the nation. Register now to attend this life-changing event. ForwardConference.org.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spiritware and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
We're back. I'm Garry Glenn. Hall County Sports is the show. We bring to the show now a man that's been with us before, Jay Jones. Got some fights coming up at the Georgia Mountain Center this Friday night, Jay. And a lot of these fights will be involving ranked people.
Right, yes. We have Kevin Patton with Fusion MMA, have Ralph Espino with Hardcore Gym in Athens, Mike Graves, X3 Sports, and Marietta, and also Jay Lowry out of American Top Team Atlanta. All ranked fighters ranked in the top 5 in Georgia.
Of course, now we're talking mixed martial arts, folks. That's what we need to make that kind of plain up front. But you've got a local woman that's going to be fighting as well.
Tanya Carter from Gainesville is going to be fighting Lisa Carlisle at 155, female amateur fight. Lisa's coming in with 2 wins, and Tanya's coming in with 1. Both stand-up fighters. It's going to be a knockdown drag-out.
Oh, well, and once again, we need to say these are all amateur fights.
Yes, definitely. All amateur fights. And there's 2 belts involved. We've got an ISK 170 belt between Jay Lowry and Mike Graves. And then we have Kevin Patton versus Brantley Furr for a 135 ISK title, American International Sport Kickboxing Association 135 amateur title, which means the fights are going to definitely be better than the last one.
Wow. No, that's good. Give us some logistics now, Jay, about what time people need to be there.
It's doors open up at 7 o'clock. Fights start promptly at 8. You can be there at 7, get your seats, get something to eat, something to drink, sit back down and enjoy the show.
Sounds like a good evening. I'll be there, folks, to call some of the action.
Sounds good.
All right, Jay, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Gary.
Good luck. Some other things to tell you about before we get out of here. Playoff soccer, despite coming from 2-0 down to tie the game and waiting out 2 lightning delays totaling a couple of hours, the run for the Flowery Branch girls ended in the round of 16 with a 3-2 loss to South Forsyth on a game decided in overtime by penalty kicks 3-1. In regulation, Alex Lee had the assist touch on 2 corner kicks, headed in by J.C. Ramey and Cassidy Elrod, the last one with only 100 seconds left to force the overtime. Morgan Glenn, no known relation, scored the only penalty kick for the Lady Falcons, who wind up as 4A region champs and 13-7 overall. The Chestatee girls also saw their run end in round 2, 3-1 at the hands of Allatoona. Alexis Rebillard scored off an assist by Morgan Dooley 8 minutes in for an early 1-0 lead, but that was all the scoring for the Lady War Eagles, who wrapped this year's campaign at 15-5, the best season in Chestatee history for girls soccer. Chestatee boys had lost earlier in the first round to Carrollton 4-1. Marco Rebillard had the lone goal for the War Eagles, who finished at 12-7 on the boys' side. The season for the North Georgia Christian boys soccer team came to an end with a 2-1 loss to Colonial Hills Christian in the ICSGA Class AA/A state semifinals last week in Lithia Springs. Andrew Pulliam scoring the Chargers' only goal on an assist from Clay Cox. NGC winds up at 10-8. The Johnson boys had their worst game of the season, and it came at the worst time against Woodward Academy. The number 4 ranked Knights were ousted 8-1. Their lone goal coming on a first-half strike by Jonathan Mendoza, which cut the Woodward lead to 3-1 at the time. Johnson finishing the season at 15-4. The defending AAA champion Gainesville boys are now also sitting at home for this postseason, as top-ranked and unbeaten St. Pius stayed that way, but not without a struggle. The Lions scored off a free kick, and then again with less than 2 minutes of the game to secure a 2-0 advance. Elephants also finished this season at 15-4. The North Hall boys end their season at 11-7-1 after a 5-1 defeat at the hands of Southeast Whitfield. Riverside's season ended at the hands of Brookstone 5-3. In golf, Riverside's military team placed 7th in the Class A state golf tournament last week at the Green Island Country Club in Columbus, led by Kyle Wilkerson's round of 76. That put him tied for 9th individually. He combined with Austin Klee, Michael Martosia, and Chris Reed to card a 325. With a first-place individual finish from Carter Mize at 69, Brookstone won the team title at 295. Time now to name our athletes of the week, and they all come from track this week. For the females, co-winners Lanisha Kearse and Maia Booker of West Hall, double region champions in the girls category. And for the males, it's going to be Cody Barger of North Hall track, double state winner at Georgia Olympics. Now we're going to leave you with some shots where Hall County Sports Television was well represented at Georgia Olympics. The folks there honored our very own William Howington and yours truly for our service at the state track meet since 1972. I'm Garry Glenn. We'll see you next week for more Hall County Sports. Hall County Sports is brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. And remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair at 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood, With 3 worship services every Sunday morning, Kids Town and adult small groups, McEver Road United Methodist Church is dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ.